Hello everybody, so in today's video we're going to explore the Maurice Leslie Classic Car Auction September 2024 up at Errol Airfield, Perth in Scotland. I'm going to pick 14 cars, I'm going to do a wee mini review of them, have a look at their estimates and see what money they actually make in the auction. So put in the comments if you're interested in any of these cars and I hope you enjoy the video. Before we get into this one, if you're enjoying the channel, please consider subscribing. We're currently just over 6,000. We need to get that up to 10,000. So I'd really appreciate your support in that. Let's take a closer look at this Mark III Escort tucked away over here on a W. So this will be 1981. Stunning colour. Properly stands out, this one. I reckon this has probably been restored at some point in its life. Bodywork is in amazingly good condition. We look down that side there. Original steel wheels there, 13-inch with those chrome caps on it. Yeah, I like these early Ghia models. They just look that little bit more special. And then there inside, yeah, padded headrests, wood trim on the doors, 3-spoke steering wheel. Now I don't know if that's a standard Ghia one, I don't think so. Rev counter on this one. But windy windows, so that's surprising. A little radio cassette player in there, storage for 4 cassettes, and it is a 4-speed manual. Lovely condition this one though. So let's take a wee look in the back, same story in there. Those seats are immaculate, as are those door trims. So it definitely looks like this car has been really well cared for. There's your view around the back. Bumper overriders, you can literally see this thing shining. Little single exhaust there. We have some Ford mud flaps down below. But yeah, nice clean car. Very, very straight this one. 22,000 miles. Will we take a wee look under the bonnet? 1.6 CVH with a carb. So yeah, pretty decent under here. Hasn't been painted under the bonnet, but it does look very, very original. Doesn't look like there's much corrosion either. We still have a battery tray, so that's a positive. But yeah, really, really nice car. I like this one. Looks like a very honest one. Somebody could just get out and use. So I'll be interested to see what this goes for. The estimate is 5,750 to 6.5. So let's find out what it goes for. Right, and here we have a Mark I Toyota MR2. These are really cool. Very, very squared off, unlike the Mark II. Mid-engined 1.6 16 valve. So let's take a wee closer look around this one. It's in really, really nice condition. Right, so let's have a wee look under the bonnet of this one. 1.6 16 valve, tucked away in very tightly under these. So these things rev pretty high from memory. So yeah, engine sitting that way around, gearbox over here, tiny wee battery in this one. Yeah, very, very compact. I guess it'll be a bit of a struggle doing some jobs on it. You'd probably end up just dropping the engine out for ease. Right, so let's take a wee closer look at the bodywork in this one. I tell you what, white really, really suits these. So D-plate, so what's that, 1986? Back when everyone was badged up, twin cam 16 valve. And you've got that wee twin exhaust down there as well, just to set that off. You've got your air vents there, and the bonnet, and that wee Toyota add-on there, that's pretty nice. You've got those air inlets there for the engine, T-bar roof, and then looking down the side, you have a tiny set of, what size are these, 14-inch alloys. But they do actually suit it, a wee black pinstripe there along the side, some body side mouldings, and of course pop-up headlights. It's not an MR2 unless it has pop-up headlights. Let's take a wee look inside this one. So this one has blue velour interior, very, very period. Let's take a wee sit in here, have a look. So if we look at that dashboard, red line there just under 8,000. I bet this is great fun, this thing. I think I'll definitely have to get a review of one of these at some point. There's your centre console. Yeah, I bet this is pretty decent fun. Estimate 5.2 to 6.2. I wonder what it'll go for. Now I want to take a closer look at this Vauxhall Victor. Lovely old thing this. Not really seen many of these actually out in the wild. The thing with these is I believe they were between a Cortina size and a Granada size, and they never really took off because of that. They never really fitted one class or the other. This one here is a 2.3 SL, so this would have been the one to have. I believe the 1.8s were a little bit underpowered. K-plate 1972, 31,000 miles on the clock. I mean, it looks in really, really decent condition. Looks very, very original. Let's take a wee closer look at that bodywork. Wee pinstripe running right the way along there. I mean, there's no major signs of corrosion, is there? Very, very original. Got those lovely chrome hubcaps on it. I really like those. Let's take a wee look round the back. Interesting. So Vauxhall badge in the middle, 2.3 SL. And exhaust there, not quite central, but not really that far off to the left. So that's interesting. No heated rear window. It's maybe a wee bit early for that. Now let's take a wee look inside. See what we've got in here. Manual 4-speed gearbox. Now, what I do like about this is, see this downswept dashboard? I'll try and get it from that angle. That's really, really unusual, isn't it? No rev counter though. Big speedometer, yeah, 31,992 showing. Fuel temperature and some warning lights. Big fan switch there. Yeah, these are pretty cool. It's for your wash. And then that's your choke. Yeah, I quite like this. Comfy old car. Yeah, so I quite like this. Comfy old car. No headrests. Plenty of space in the back. They're very, very roomy. And door trims look interesting. The chrome on the door pulls and on that window winder. Yeah, so it's a nice motor that. A little bit of wood there on that steering wheel. What do we think of the Vector then? Big grille on the front of it as well. Just look quite unusual. Unusual car, I guess due to its rarity. So we're saying 5,750 to 6.5 grand for that one. Wonder what he will make. Here we have a Mark IV Golf, so you might be asking what is unusual about this? Well, it's a V5, so that is quite a rare model in itself at 2.3. Oh, unfortunately it's an automatic. That's a bit disappointing. I would have been interested in putting a bid on that if that had been a manual car. I think these put out about 170 brake horsepower back in the day. So not quite as powerful as the 2.8 models, but a step above some of the base GTIs. Yeah, cloth interior. Let's have a wee look inside. I think these Mark IVs were criticised for being a little bit dull, but I mean they were well put together. This one's got some wood trim there, doubled in Volkswagen sound system, climate control. It looks well spec'd up. Armrest in the middle, a wee bit of wood there on the door trim. What have we got? Some cruise control there as well. And mileage, 100,000 miles on the clock. So just running, yeah, it's a little bit plain and silver, isn't it? It would just pass for a GT TDI of the same age, wouldn't it? But it's in great condition. I can't see any rust on the back of it. See that wee V5 badge there? Let's take a look around this side. Same story around here, to be fair. Lovely condition, nice and straight. Yeah, so it's a bit of a find, this one. What a shame it is not a manual. So estimate 1,000 to 1,750. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what this one actually goes for. Right, I want to take a wee closer look at this Citroen Saxo, every boy racer's dream back in the day. This one's a 2002, so VTR, so it's 1.6. VTS was obviously the 16 valve, the faster one. This is an 8 valve, 95,000 miles on the clock. This one looks pretty straight. It doesn't look like it's been through too many hedges. Prices of these are actually starting to rise, believe it or not. I think, again, just due to rarity, and most of them were probably written off or modified. Wee chrome exhaust pipe finisher on it there. I tell you what though, they are growing on me now. Now they're getting older. Do look pretty smart. Standard alloy wheels in there. Let's take a look inside. Yeah, it's got interesting design on that cloth there. Dashboard. Yep, every boy racer had to have white dials on their car. Yeah, 95,000 miles, red line just over 6. Be interesting to have a wee shot at one of these. See how well they go. I mean, there's no weight to them, of course. This one's got electric windows, so that is handy. I don't even know where the electric window switch is hiding for it. That's interesting. That could be a bit of a challenge. Ah, it is down there. It's behind the gear stick. Sunroof in this. Very good condition. Airbag, obviously. And we've got the original Citroen CD player. Well, let's take a wee look. Let's take a wee look around the front. Standard front splitter. Yeah, I quite like this. I'm not sure if it's the best colour though. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on this one and see what this goes for. I mean, estimate at the moment is without reserve. So it's come here today to be sold. Now this is standing right out the end, this little Morris. It's the colour that's attracting it to me. Now let's have a closer look. Morris Minor, so not the typical Morris Minor that you'd be thinking of from the 50s. This is a 1931 version. Obviously it's been restored, but that paintwork properly stands out. Lovely little thing. It's very, very small, as the name would suggest, and it is still a 4-seater. We've got those wire wheels. Let's take a wee closer look at the bodywork in this one. Yeah, lovely little thing. It's nice to see one that has obviously been restored. And this would have been your engine temperature gauge here. It was taped back together. Very, very skinny tyres. Check out the size of those. They are probably about 18 or 19 inch, mind you. And we do have a wee starting handle there on the front. Most of these have got electric starters now anyway. The side steps there. Let's take a wee look inside. Of course, it opens from the front, not the back. Black interior, possibly leather. Oh! And it is a tight fit in here. Let's close that door. Wow, this is tiny inside. Let's have a wee look down there. Yep, there is not a lot of space down on those pedals. There's your gear stick there. A lot of play in that. Now, your speedo. Where even is the speedo hiding? Looks like you've got a wee clock down there. Maybe that's your speedometer, that one down there. But the gauges are all tiny. But God, I'm pretty small and I'm away over into the passenger seat. So yeah, that'd be an interesting drive. That's your wipers there. I wonder if there's a wee button on that. Yeah, they are electric because there is a connection on it. So this would be an interesting drive. But certainly not for long distance. Looks like the roof also comes off of this one. So what do we think of the wee Morris Minor, guys? Should I do a review on something like this? You get a wee spare wheel sitting on the back as well. Interesting wee car. It'll certainly not be fast, but it'll have a whole load of character about it. Now, estimates at the moment, $6,500 to $7,250. That's a lot of car for the money. Well, physically it isn't, but in terms of rarity, I would say so. So let's see what it goes for. Right, look at this beast. Blue oval, Ford Zodiac. So this is basically a luxurious Ford Zephyr. Let's take a closer look. 1969 at 49,000 miles on the clock. Now this one is fitted with the well-known 3-litre Essex lump V6. Also enough space to get the tyre under the bonnet. This one's obviously not been restored, but these are getting quite thin on the ground now, these, but massive, massive car when you actually stand back and look at it. So let's take a wee closer look at this one. Blue, blue and more blue. Like I said, it's an unrestored car, so it could probably do with some renovation. You've got a big bench seat there in the middle, blue leather, and we'll have a wee sit inside it, see what we can see. There's your dials there, rev counter, speedometer. Hey, these are nice. Look at these switches. I like them. Hey, these are rare. Look at these switches. I like those. They're really, really stylish. Very, very quirky, this. There's your handbrake. I didn't know Fords had those type of handbrakes. I thought that was just Mercs. And then we have a floor shift here. I believe these did come with column shift as an option as well. But yeah, it definitely feels like a big American car in here with this bench seat in the front. But yeah, it's absolutely massive. I think that 140 brake horsepower SX V6 will probably struggle to pull this along, certainly with that 3-speed automatic gearbox. Nice wee detail there. Z on the door trim. Even some carpet at the bottom of that. So yeah, it's a interesting motor. We'll take a wee look around the back. And there you go, it's got the tow bar. A lot of people did buy these for towing. I think they were particularly good at that. I wonder what is behind here. Ah, there's your fuel filler behind that. So that's quite clever. I like that. But yeah, it's a massive car. I mean, check the size of the boot out. I would say this thing is far bigger than a Granada. So it'll be interesting to see what this one goes for. Let's have a wee look. What is it saying? 1750 to £2,500. You know, so that is a lot of the car for. So that's a lot of car for the money. Lovely old thing. Right, what do we have here? A Series 1 Rover SD1. It does look a lot better condition than that one. So this one is 3.5 litre V8. Obviously this thing has been restored. That metallic paint absolutely pops on this. Really, really suits it. So it looks like a W. No, it's a Y. It's a Y. So what is that? 1983. Yep. 19,000 miles. Right, let's take a closer look at this one. And let's see what differences there is on the Series 1 versus mine. Yeah, they certainly look a lot more old-fashioned round the front there. You've got a couple of fog lights there on the front. I mean, the overall shape and profile of the car, I mean, is nearly identical. Got those lovely wheels there. Really like them. Proper 70s. But yeah, I mean, looking at that, yeah, it's obviously had a good restoration. It's in great condition. Right, what have we got inside? Beige velour upholstery. Very nice. Let's take a wee seat inside. Check out that steering wheel. Square boss in the middle of it there. This one is an automatic. You've got your 4 electric window controls there. Choke, there's that lever there. This is for left-hand drive models. The steering wheel would come out of that, if you didn't know that. Useless fact. Door trims, yeah, they're quite interesting. A lot of cloth on them there, and we're missing, oh no, we're not missing anything, that's actually for that vent. But yeah, very quirky car. 140 mile an hour speedo, red line at 6,000. Yeah, the instrument panel does just look like it's dumped on the top, kind of like the Mark 1 Metros. But yeah, it's a very comfy old thing. Maybe a bit saggy headlining. I'm doing headlining on mine at the moment, and I know how painful that job is. Let's take a wee look around the back. Tow bar, someone has fitted a tow bar. Chrome bumpers, 3.5 litre V8. What I liked about these Series 1s was just those big badges run along there. Standard exhaust. Yeah, lovely car. No rear wiper on this one. And an add-on high level rear brake light. But yeah, it's a lovely example. I wonder if this is an original colour or not. Now, what is the estimate on this one? What are we looking at? 5,750 to 6.5. Yeah, I mean, that's probably realistic. Let's see what it does. Right, let's take a look at this Rolls on a V-plate. So this is the Silver Shadow 2, the one just before the Silver Spirit, which I'd actually done a full review on a couple of days back. 1980, so yeah, it is just on that changeover period there. Bronze metallic. Well, I mean, it's not the best colour in the world, but it does suit this. I mean, what a beast of a car. Look at it. It is massive. So yeah, they are just a little bit more curvy. Is that the right word? Than the Silver Spirit. You know, the Silver Spirit were very straight, lots of straight lines, squared off, which was very much reflective of the period they were made. But yeah, this, I really like that. Look at those big headrests in the back. Most important thing here is let's take a look inside and see what it's like inside. Well, I mean, it is going to be classy inside before we even look, but check that out. You've seen the thickness of those seats? They are massive. Smell that leather. Yeah, so not massively different to the Silver Spirit. Tons and tons of wood, tons and tons of leather. The dashboard arrangement is very, very similar. This certainly is. If you column shift as well. This area is quite a lot different. These armrests are integral into the seat, and that one, oh, there it comes. I like that. Proper old-fashioned, but very, very quirky. And the thing is with these, they're built so well, handcrafted. Electric window switches there. I mean, there is just switches and dials and gauges everywhere in this. Probably ignore that one, because that one is never going to be above that point. Maybe radio cassette in there. Beautiful car, wood veneer, and let's take a look in the back. And there's your view in the back. Well, interestingly, there's not as much legroom as I would have expected in there for it being a big luxury car. Let's have a wee look inside. There we go. Massively thick floor mats. Check those out. That's unreal. You've got a wee footrest here. Well, actually, it's not too bad. That's how much legroom you've got. Big headrest and a wee mirror in the back. And then your armrest. So, what is the reserve on this one? Let's go and take a look. Difference again with these is we have wipers on those headlamps. We're sitting there at 5,500 to 6.2 with 76,000 miles on the clock. So that will probably make around that, I would imagine. Let's take a close look at these before we move on to the next car. They're like little brushes on the headlights. So that's pretty cool. Does sit very low, this one. I wonder if this was air suspension or traditionally sprung. What do you think it will make? Here we have a lovely pickup, Ford Thames. Now, you can see me in that. Should I buy it? It's not got any back seats. Yeah, so Ford Thames, a bit of a workhorse this one, pickup. Let's have a wee look. I don't know much about these. It is well outside my area of expertise, which is close to zero anyway. What have we got here? 1100cc, 60,000 miles, 8 to 9,000 reserve on it, manufactured 1956. Beautiful. We get the bonnet open. These wee clips here, you should turn them and that bonnet should open. Remember which way. We'll leave that because that doesn't want to open, but we will have a wee look inside, and we won't have a look inside that side because it is locked. So we'll take another wee look in on this side. Now we've only got one seat, and in fact, could you even call this a seat? You've got a wee pad there for your back, something to put your backside on. Let's get inside. Oh God! Yeah, that is not the most comfy car I've ever sat on. We've got a clothes peg for the choke, speedometer. Wow, very, very basic. And you've got this super plush headlining. So what is that all about? You have that to sit on, and then you have a headlining that looks like that. I think we have our priorities wrong with this car. Yeah, we definitely need to get something sorted out there. Get that headlining on that seat, and then don't bother about what's on the roof. Warning, slow moving vehicle. So that gives the game away. This is not going to be very, very fast. What do we think of this? Will it make its reserve? Right, Ford Escort on an end plate, so 1995, 1996, probably the most unloved era of Escort that there ever was. This doesn't really help matters. Yeah, they are pretty ugly, there's no other word to use for it, but this one is in great condition. It's a Ghia, so it should be spec'd up with everything, but again, back in this era, even the spec'd up Ghia models weren't particularly flashy. So let's take a wee look inside and see what you got for your extra pounds. Yeah, I mean, to be fair to this particular model, the car is mint. And look at those seats, steering wheel, everything is immaculate in it. It's totally original, but I would have expected leather for a Ghia. Well, I mean, even when you sit in it, the seats are really, really firm. 17,000 miles on the clock. You got a wee Ghia badge there on the clock. Lots of, is that wood veneer or is it plastic? I think it will be the latter. Electric window switches down there. Wood. You think it's wood, do you?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's plastic. We have a manual windy sunroof. These headrests to integrate down here. And what this is down here. Oh, we have a tiny little storage box there for your cassette. And the cassette we have, Jimmy Shand. I don't think I've ever heard him or listened to him. You'll need to look for him on Spotify. And that goes in your original Ford 2006 RDS radio cassette player. Let's take a look around the rest of the car. Oh, look, we've got electric mirror switch there as well. That's good. Ghia badge. Thank you for pointing that one out. We'll have a wee look in the back. It's immaculate in the back. I mean, the seats have probably never been sat on. Manual windows. What have we got in terms of... And looking at the very back here, very discreet Escort 16 valve. Single exhaust down there. You've got that wee air dam underneath. Yeah, I mean, it's a lovely car to be fair. Tiny set of original alloy wheels, 14-inch. Got a wee bit of rust coming through there, so I mean, it isn't 100% showroom, but I think considering how unloved they are, it's probably been kept pretty well for what it is. Well, we've got 17,000 miles, Ghia 1.6, Z-Tech, 2 former keepers, estimate 27 to 35. 90 brake horsepower, I guess, 5-speed manual. Anybody like these? Put in the comments if you want one. Right, let's have a wee closer look at this Rolls Royce. Now, this is an unusual one. This is a 2-door model, Corniche 2 1982. So yeah, I think it's worth taking a much closer look at this because I don't actually think I've ever seen a 2-door model of these before. Let's take a closer look at the bodywork. How nice is that? I have to say, that's a stunning looking car. We've got those white wall tyres there, which I don't know how well they suit a Rolls Royce, but the car itself is beautiful. So we will have to do a wee bit more research on this model, I think. Corniche 2. See what it's actually based on. Let's have a little look inside this one. Luckily it was not locked. This is lovely inside this one. So I guess this is probably based on a Silver Shadow 2 by the looks of it. 51,000 miles. And this thing is beautiful. Lots of wood trim around it. And then these leather seats, these are lovely again. We've got these integral armrests there. I don't know what this button does. It moves it forward maybe. Who knows? Let's take another wee look outside. So let's take a look at the front of this one. It's definitely based on a Shadow 2, but yeah, we'll be doing a wee bit more research on this one. That black coachwork, it is beautiful. Really, really nice. Yeah, I love these rarer ones. Twin exhaust back there. Does look like a bit of a gangster car, doesn't it? What do we think the estimate is in this one? 38 to 42. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see if it makes those sort of figures. What do you think? Now here we have something very rare, Mark II Cavalier. So in itself isn't that rare, but it's a Calibre. Now this is a Calibre with a difference. This has a LED under the bonnet. So that'll be interesting. 2-litre turbo. This does look like it does need a wee bit of restoration work on it. Interior wise, I think we probably have, I'm not an expert on these, Astra GTE maybe. We do have a Digidash, which you probably can't make out from there. It's definitely from an Astra GTE. But yeah, it's a nice interior on this one. But body-wise, he definitely needs a wee bit of TLC to bring him back to his former glory. But these things make good money when they're actually restored. Lovely styling. I love special edition cars from this era. There's body kits added on, spoilers, bigger exhausts. I wonder what happened to its original engine, or if we just wanted a wee bit of an upgrade in there. Well, let's take a wee look around this side, see what the view is like. Need a wee bit of work done on there, on that pillar. And definitely a wee bit of archwork done on this. So who's up for a project? It'll be a fast project when it's done, mind, if it's got a let in it. Here we have something interesting, 1953 Austin Champ. So I guess this was a competitor to the Land Rover Defender. I couldn't think of the name there. There's very, very little to these things. There's not even any doors. I mean, you do have a bit of cloth for the roof there. But yeah, very, very rugged and robust thing, this. What does it say about it? 2.8 litre. Yeah, it would be interesting doing some off-roading in it, I would imagine. It even comes with a spade if you happen to get stuck. And not a lot on the inside. Manual gearbox. We'll have that, which I don't know what that is. Maybe a horn or something like that. Back seats. You have a boot. This, I'm not sure what this is. Carries an aerial. Oh yeah, that'll be to carry an aerial. And you've got your spare wheel on the back. And you've also got somewhere to carry your spare petrol and a tow bar. Beast of a thing that. I bet that'll probably go anywhere. You can probably just batter it off everything as well. There's a lot to protect the bodywork. Interesting old thing to drive. Imagine there's probably no power steering in there either. Might get a bit cold if you're doing a long journey in it, but interested to see what this thing goes for. What is the estimate? Estimate is 7,000 to 8,000, so looks like there could be a wee bit of a following in these. Have you ever owned one or driven one? Let me know what it was like.